effort. Take roots inside the tower's sculpture keepers, and perched within, who beg of thee, rise.
Apophis here with another Elden Ring PvP video. This build I've nicknamed Storm Slash, because we're using the Enraged Beast Talisman and Alexander to achieve over 140% damage with our Storm Ash of Wars. It's also packing backhand blades with Swift Slash to deal with crowds, although I was pretty hesitant to use them. I feel like even now I still feel like that Ash is too cheap. But anyway, let's get into the build. It's a standard level 150 dex build. I've cut a little bit of dex from Mind, and it's got a good amount of endurance, so we could wear very heavy armor and the Divine Beast Head. The Divine Beast Head gives us 4 strength and 4 dex, and also 4.5% more storm damage. So it's pretty optimal for this build. Normally, I don't like it. It's pretty ugly, but here it's very efficient. And there's also a few setups you could do without it as well, if you want to basically hold more weapons. So let's say we want to use both a Great Katana with Stormblade, and then also with a Banished Knight's Halberd with Storm Assault or Stormcaller. You definitely can fit them by using a more balanced armor set, but you'll have a bit less power. But it's up to you. It's kind of interesting to note that at a lower level, Stormblade was doing significantly more damage. At level 150, on average, does about like 430 damage. But when I tried it on my 117 build, I was doing about over 600. So I think base stats do matter, like let's say how heavily armored they are and whatnot. I think most people at a very high level are using, let's say, mostly meta armor sets, but these guys definitely aren't. I'm also not sure if Stormblade can headshot or not. I guess we'll keep watching and then we'll find out if it actually can. Because theoretically, if it can, it'll do more damage in some instances, but not all. And these guys are just waiting on the elevator before Moog. I feel like almost every fight at 150 was a gank. Not gonna lie, I'm pretty glad that they nerfed Swift Slash. It doesn't chase as far now. It still does way more damage than it should, and backhand blades are completely cracked in 1.13. But most of the time I just felt too dirty to actually use it, when I probably should have, especially when I was like in the middle of a gank. But we'll go over that later. Anyway. And so I wasn't sure what to expect on this one. But looks like it's in Limgrave, so I was expecting to get ganked immediately. However, it is a bonfire duelist. I'm not really sure why these people don't just go into the arena. Like, you could play all the 1v1 you want. I mean, I guess maybe they think that they're hot shit and they could, fight 2 or more people by themselves. But it's kind of a reality in the 2v2 mode anyway, for being honest. But, yeah, they tried to run away, got caught by Stormblade, and that was it. Another Bella Rat invasion. I definitely thought I would have caught this guy a couple of times. This was the invasion that kind of convinced me that KGS is just pretty much an arena weapon. It has a really fun moveset, but in situations like this, well, that was almost a quick death there. But in situations like this, like, you're not really leveraging the armor in a useful way. The damage is not super high when it's not lightning infused. And it's not like I'm using like a roll catch setup with Bloody Slash either. I actually think that was one of those headshots I was mentioning earlier. See how when I was at that particular angle, the projectile did extra damage to that guy. It normally does 489, but in that situation did like almost 600. Catch him the second swing, and then I thought he was going to parry, so I used Storm Blade, which I believe is unparryable as long as you have the FP for it. And there was a long stretch here where I basically just invaded into 3-man gang squads just waiting for me to spawn in, and this was definitely one of them. If I see Liurnia or anywhere in the initial area of Limgrave, I'm going to assume that it's going to be a disgusting, brutal gang squad. And I think by the time I got hit by the first gravity sug, I was pretty much mentally resigned. I probably should have just continued to evade and apply Endure until I could catch them all into a Stormcaller, but it is what it is. And here's another one. This guy was actually, quote, hosting in this area by Magma Worm for quite a while. And here, I was pretty excited. I was like, I have a code invader. Let's clap these guys. But I don't know. Either he was already part of their squad or something. I don't know. But he just jumps off the cliff and leaves me by myself. And this went on for about 3 minutes in real time. And so I don't see a single other red spawn in, but then a blue spawns in. So this dirty bastard turned on the Taunter's Tongue. Then when another invader came in, turned it off, turned on his blue ring, and just waited to continue to gank. This is disgusting. You shouldn't be able to turn the Taunter's Tongue off until you die. It's extremely silly that they're allowed to do this. Oh, and on another invasion where I came in and I had a backup ally, once this guy was cornered, he just went into the boss spot. Amazing. This invasion kind of like convinced me that I don't really like invading at 150 or meta level. I'd much rather play at 117 so you get people who are naturally progressing through the level, instead of a 3-man squad waiting for you to spawn in. But yeah, let's go into just showcasing Stormcaller. So here I thought to myself, okay, so Stormcaller has less hyper armor than it used to. Or the super armor frames are delayed, perhaps. So basically we want to use Endure, so we're going to tank those hits and then we're going to basically get the full damage of Stormcaller there. Although I guess some stuff will still break your armor no matter what. So Endure through that. Catching the Stormcaller, and Stormcaller is amazing for people who just wake up and mash. So he gets hit by the whole thing because he woke up mashed, then he woke up mashed again, got caught a second time. Seems like a lot of people don't know about like the startup invincibility when you spawn in. But yeah, these guys found out. And I was like, I feel like these guys were probably waiting to do the boss. I don't feel like they were gankers, so I felt a little bad about that one. On the other hand, this is Liurnia, so I knew I was in for some bullshit. So the second part is definitely not guaranteed unless I like wake up and mash or try a roll into you. So the best thing you could do is probably just go for a roll catch immediately afterwards. But it all really depends on how much you observed of that player. This guy was using power stance katanas. He was definitely prone to mashing. So it definitely worked there, but not always. And for our last invasion in this showcase, I invaded this duo before. These guys were using status setups. But, man, look at that damage. Thankfully, I don't think that they soft-capped their vigor, so this one's not too bad. Tries to get me with the exploding Wondrous Flask, but I don't know, should have committed. So this guy's got Bloody Slash and what I think is either a Nagakiba or Great Katana, but if it's Nagakiba, then it should be two-handing and trying to use the dash attack into a Bloody Slash roll catch, but I don't really see him doing a lot of that. Probably just doesn't know. Yeah, roll catch into, I guess, an interrupt on his Bloody Slash. I have mixed feelings about them changing the armor property on that, but anyway. So that was the build video. I hope you enjoyed it, and maybe I'll give you some ideas on how to run it yourself. I've got a few more build ideas ready, and I do need a break from Great Katanas. I think I've played that moveset enough. The one-headed moveset is especially atrocious, with the running R1 basically being your only attack. And I don't know, I've just spent enough time with the weapon, but yeah. But anyway, I'll see you guys on the next video. Alright.